Hello and welcome back to this bonus lab relating to posting into Teams as the Flowbot. And in this lab, it's a little bit techie. We're going to look at adaptive cards. This isn't in the lab manual, so you'll have to click along. But hopefully you'll get something out of it if this is your jam. First of all, something I want to just give you a quick heads up of. There is an adaptive cards designer that is available. So if you just literally Google adaptive cards designer, adaptivecards.io, and this is where you can build the payloads that you'll need for cards. Now we've actually got the payload that you need, so you don't need to do this. But if you wanted to that's what's on the card. So yeah, if you wanted to build your own card, then what you do is you'd go to Microsoft Teams. This is the card, and then you can go and drag and drop things around, put any sort of things in here that you want to, and then the payload will appear here, and that's what you copy and paste into the actions that we're going to do now. So if this is something that's interesting to you, then go and check out adaptive cards. Check out the samples, the blog, and there's heaps of materials out there to learn adaptive cards. I don't know them that well, so just go ahead. All the information you need is available. So we're going to go and do that. So we're going to click into our end-to-end workflow that we created, that we finalized in that last lab, and we're going to go on apply to each here. And this action, this Teams action, post a choice of options as the Flowbot to a user, we're going to replace that and not use this this action. Now I'm going to delete it, so I'm going to click in here and delete. You can delete actions from in the middle of flows, but note the dialog that appears here. This step and associated dynamic content will be deleted from this flow. So just be careful that you're not using any dynamic content from that that will then have implications later on in your flow. So just be wary of that. We're going to click OK. The dynamic content we were using in the condition has disappeared, as you would expect, and that's okay because we can add that back in. You can add actions in between other actions by just hovering over and clicking the plus. So we're going to click and add an action in here, and we're going to use Teams. And the option we're going to use is post adaptive card and wait for a response. We're going to post as the Flowbot, but we could post as a virtual agent in later releases. And we're going to post it in a chat with Flowbot. And we need to send a recipient. So it's the recipient is ourselves. So whatever your tenant user is that you're using, it's that. Now the message in this case, it's going to be a bunch of JSON. So it would be, you'd build it in the designer, and then you'd copy and paste that JSON into here. But we've actually got some JSON that you can use. So if you go into the lab data package that you downloaded, so in here, in Lab 8, Advanced Topic, Adaptive Cards, here's some JSON. So if you just open that with Notepad or something like that, and then Control A, Control C, and then just drop that in here. Now you do need to fix this up. You'll notice that in this you'll have there's these placeholders, and what these placeholders are for is for you to insert your dynamic data. So in build-to here, what we want to do is insert the build-to value there, and contact, I want to put the contact in there, and date, we want to put the date in there, and total, we want to put total in there. Total value. So it should look something like that. And some other things to note here is there's an action submit button that you'll see appear, and it's got this ID of AC_approve1. So this is there's a reject, AC reject one, and AC approve one. So our condition this time, it's not going to be selected option, it's going to be submit action ID. So we scroll all the way down to, oh, maybe I missed it up here. Let's just save that. Yeah, seems to look good. So go in here. Where is? That's interesting. Let me try and fix that. So this is a common issue by the looks of it. So tip, if no outcomes for the teams that can be found, click on add dynamic content and then expression 2 and insert that. So for some reason this must be a little bit buggy, so we're going to do that. So we're going to do this. I will make sure that this code is available underneath this video. So you go in here, go into expression and click on here and then OK, and then that's there. So that's an example of an expression actually, so it's good to see that as well for the techie. So I'll just show you that again. Expression. So here you can see it's the body of, and then the action name, which is easy to read, and then the submit action ID, the query to show it's a parameter, and then the value that's in there. So that's pretty easy to understand. That's FX code. Anyway, we want that to be, and that's going to be AC_approve1. AC_approve1. And let's just go back in here. Oh, where is that? There it is. So yep, so that should look something like AC approve. It's got AC approve 1 there, so we're going to use AC approve 1. AC approve 1, and then we click on save. This should work. If it doesn't, you get the idea of the kind of thing. You can troubleshoot it. But so it's the JSON for the card, dynamic data in the JSON, and then the condition here. So we're going to click on save and try that. If it doesn't work, I'm not going to sweat too much, because you get the general idea of what that is doing. Fab. Oops. Fab user 1. We're going to attach a document, a new invoice, and let's see how that works. So click on send. Now we go over here and we wait to see what happens. Okay, so this should be running, and we've got our thing in Teams. And yep, you can see there's the card with a little image and things there. So we're going to click approve, and let's see if that works. Confirm, and it didn't. So it didn't work. It saw that as a reject. So let's see just in here if we can troubleshoot that. So if I open apply to each and the condition, expression was faultless. Look at the raw inputs. That expression that's not very useful. Let's see if this show the outputs. Yeah, it was actually AC approved. So if we'd have changed that to AC approve, that would have worked. So yeah, I'm not going to do that to test it. You can see that is the case. Feel free to change that on yours and test it out. Hopefully that was useful. Hopefully that's a good insight into just a tiny little bit of the more technical things that you can do. Those adaptive cards are really powerful. You can put multimedia in there and drop downs and all sorts of cool stuff. So hope you enjoy unleashing your creativity on those on that feature set. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next lab.